Customers entered a gas station's convenience store, expecting a quick stop to grab snacks, drinks, or pay for gas. However, what they encountered was far from ordinary. Behind the counter, on the side where cigarettes were sold and the register was located, the cashier was visibly tweaking. She was clearly in the throes of a severe drug-induced state, her behavior erratic and unsettling. The customers, caught off guard by the bizarre scene, reacted with a mix of confusion, amusement, and frustration. Some stood there, unsure whether to laugh or be concerned, while others opted to drive off rather than deal with the uncomfortable situation. An ordinary workday spiraled into an alarming situation for a gas station employee. Like any other day, he stepped to the back of the station, unaware of the events about to unfold. His co-workers reacted swiftly to the medical emergency unfolding before their eyes. They rolled him onto his side to allow clear breathing and prevent choking. The terrifying incident lasted several agonizing minutes until the shaking finally subsided. While going about their normal activities at the gas station, the customers and staff present experienced a sudden and terrifying turn in their ordinary day. Without warning, an explosion occurred, sending shockwaves through the vicinity. The blast, though powerful enough to create significant noise and shudder, miraculously resulted in no injuries. The scene quickly became chaotic as shock registered on the faces of those nearby. The witnesses, driven by a mix of fear and instinct, wasted no time in reacting. They swiftly got into their vehicles and sped off, eager to distance themselves from the potential danger. A released surveillance video shows a Detroit police officer being ambushed at a local gas station by two young men. The men assaulted the officer, who defended himself during the violent encounter. They attempted to steal his wallet, but failed as the officer outsmarted the suspects. A man walked into the gas station store, handed the cashier $10, and asked for gas at the pump. After returning to his car, he noticed the pump still wasn't working. Annoyed but not rude, he went back inside and asked why his pump didn't have the gas.
What's up? Why are you giving me a hard time? Did I do anything wrong to you that you're making me do this? I waited in line, I gave you money. I waited in line.
Initially, the other customers sympathized with him, but things took a turn when the man made a racist comment.
Give my money.
The mood shifted, and the support he had vanished. To make matters worse, in an attempt to prove a point, he grabbed several items off the shelves and stormed out, effectively stealing them.
I don't need any of it.
Bye.
Holy that dude just jacked that. Oh my god.
I'm gonna call the cops.
The situation, which began as a simple complaint about gas, had escalated into a chaotic scene, leaving everyone bewildered. The night was calm and seemingly uneventful as the large truck hauled its load of thousands of gallons of gasoline down the street. Surveillance cameras rolled, capturing the truck's approach to the intersection of North Center Avenue and Sunrise Highway. In the footage, the lumbering tanker can be seen entering the frame and continuing through the intersection as the traffic signal turns yellow, but then something goes terribly awry. The truck suddenly veers off its path, the driver appearing to lose control as it barrels towards the corner storefront. Within seconds, the tanker smashes through the front windows of a liquor store with tremendous force.
I don't know that was involved, but they were parked at Pump 16.
In Grapevine, Texas, two individuals attempted to steal diesel fuel from a 7-Eleven's underground tanks. Using siphoning equipment, they targeted a significant quantity of fuel. However, a vigilant bystander noticed their suspicious activity and alerted authorities. The Grapevine Police Department quickly arrived on scene, surrounding and apprehending the suspects. Their plan to steal 250 gallons of diesel was foiled, and they were taken into custody. The attempted fuel theft ended with the suspects' arrest, their scheme thwarted by attentive citizens and prompt police action. CCTV footage captured the moment a driver was filling her gas tank in Allen Park, Michigan, but what happened next took her off guard. The woman immediately jumped into the passenger side door, hoping she could stop the carjacker. The carjacker's plan was short-lived. A truck driver pulled him from the car, foiling his attempt. Police charged Earl Joseph Larch, 37, with carjacking over the incident caught on the BP gas station security camera. In Arcadia, Vincent Ng stopped for gas before his trip home to the Bay Area. A woman approached, asking to borrow his phone for an emergency. Trusting her, Ng handed over his iPhone. What she did next was beyond expectation.
In Arcadia Monday before heading home to the Bay Area when a woman casually pulled up and approached the driver with a plea for help.
I have an emergency.
Suddenly, she bolted to a waiting SUV. Ng chased her, grappling with the thief as the vehicle moved. After a brief struggle, two girls in the back seat pushed him out of the moving car.
The dime hightailed it back to her SUV as Vincent chased her, struggling with the thief inside the moving car.
I was more wrestling with her, so I grabbed her.
Ng suffered scrapes and cuts, but avoided serious injury. It seemed like any other customer interaction at first. A young boy, no older than 12 years old, walked into the Hartford gas station convenience store. He approached the counter in a casual manner, giving the impression he wanted to make a purchase. However, the boy's true intentions soon became terrifyingly clear.
All right, have a nice day. Money in the bag. What? Money in the bag. Are you serious?
The clerk, no doubt fearing for her life when faced with the gun, quickly complied with the young robber's orders.
Yeah. Here, get out, Bryce. Here, take it.
With the money taken at gunpoint, the 12-year-old calmly turned and walked out of the store again, as if this were just a routine errand. Brandy Owens, a recovering addict, works the night shift at a Twin Falls gas station. One night, an armed man enters, demanding money. Terrified, Brandy complies.
Finally going well for Brandy, or so she thinks.
Hurry up.
Days later, Brandy receives a tip about the robber's identity at a recovery meeting. She informs the police, leading to the arrest of Cody William James Meade. He's convicted and sentenced to prison.
I have no money in it.
First, now. Want the rest of the money?
That's all there is.
I know you got more money.
Then he walks behind the register.
Though relieved, Brandy struggles with lingering trauma.
Last $2.
That's all I have, sir.
All right, take care of yourself.
Surveillance video from the Charlotte-Mecklenburg police captures a chilling gun battle outside a West Charlotte gas station. The video shows multiple masked suspects exchanging gunfire with another group outside the premises. The footage starts with a group around the gas pumps when a second group of masked individuals arrives armed with guns. Suddenly they start shooting at each other. The footage captures the incident as the gunfight continues for several moments. After a few moments, the shots cease and the masked group makes their way to their car. In a bustling gas station in Mexico, an ordinary day took a terrifying turn. A gas truck, seemingly routine in its delivery, began to leak fuel. The pungent scent of gasoline quickly permeated the air, causing unease among the staff and customers. Moments later, black smoke started to billow from the truck at the front of the station. The truck's engine over-revved, likely igniting the vapor in the air. Panic ensued as the first signs of smoke turned into an explosive inferno. The vehicles, realizing the impending danger, reversed rapidly, taking a different route to escape the escalating disaster. It began as a seemingly minor theft incident at a gas station convenience store. Surveillance cameras captured a man brazenly walking out of the store with 2 unpaid sodas tucked under his arm. The clerk on duty noticed the theft and chased after the suspect. In a stunning turn of violence, the confrontation took a dangerous turn when the thief and the clerk started exchanging gunfire. On a busy afternoon at a local gas station, a large container truck pulled in to refuel. The driver, weary from a long haul, filled up the diesel tank and prepared to depart. As the truck began to move, the driver failed to notice that the container had caught on the fuel pump's canopy. Focused on navigating the tight space, he started to reverse, intending to swing the long vehicle out of the station. Suddenly, a loud metallic groan pierced the air. The caught canopy strained against the powerful truck as it continued to back up. Within seconds, the entire structure gave way with a thunderous crash. Garland police released chilling surveillance video footage from a gas station. The recording shows the tragic events unfold in a matter of seconds. The shooter exited his vehicle, crouched while walking along the store windows, opened the door, and began firing at least 20 rounds into the store. A tanker pulled up to the gas station as the driver began unloading gasoline. What unfolded would later create panic. The driver, acting on instinct, immediately hit the emergency shutoff and grabbed a fire extinguisher. His quick response contained the blaze before it could spread to the main tanks. When firefighters arrived, they found only minor damage. The footage captured at an Antioch gas station shows a vehicle pulling into the station. An individual then gets out of the car and engages in what appears to be an argument or altercation with the driver of another vehicle. However, things escalate quickly. Two individuals can be seen falling to the ground after being struck by gunfire. The suspects then flee the area in their vehicles immediately after the shooting occurs. Detectives from the Metro Nashville Police Department's Homicide Unit have extensively reviewed the surveillance footage as they attempt to identify the suspects. CCTV footage revealed the moment a suspect sped away in a stolen vehicle. Rounding a corner too fast, he lost control. The impact ruptured the pump, releasing a spray of gasoline. Station employees rushed to hit the emergency shutoff as the suspect stumbled from the wreckage. Police cars screeched to a halt, officers leaping out with weapons drawn. They apprehended the dazed suspect as firefighters arrived to secure the scene and prevent a potential explosion. Chilling surveillance footage has been released, depicting a deadly shooting that occurred at a gas station in southeast Atlanta. The incident appears to be linked to another homicide that took place shortly after at an American deli restaurant just down the street. Police responded to reports of a shooting at the deli to find the victim deceased inside the restaurant. Authorities reviewed the previous surveillance video from the gas station and determined the two incidents were related. An unusual case of fuel theft recently occurred at a gas station in southwest Houston, where alleged thieves drove directly over the container lids and stole hundreds of gallons of diesel fuel multiple times.
Man driving over the underground fuel storage container lids at the family-owned Fuquay Express gas station off of Beltway 8 in southwest Houston. The gas station...
Surveillance video captured a van driving over the underground fuel storage container lids at the Fuquay gas station off Beltway 8. The manager, Jerry, reported that the individuals in the minivan stole an average of 360 gallons of diesel fuel from the underground storage containers 3 days in a row.
The lookout and the van that's pumping the fuel out, they come at the same time. The van drives on top of the fuel tank. That's all you see. No one comes out.
The thefts have resulted in approximately $5,000 worth of stolen fuel. CCTV footage captured a shocking shootout in the parking lot of a busy DeKalb County gas station. The video shows two individuals engaging in a gunfight, with bullets spraying across the parking lot. Caught in the crossfire were three innocent bystanders. Following the review of the CCTV footage, police arrested 34-year-old Darius Morris and charged him with 3 counts of aggravated assault in connection with the shooting of the bystanders. At a gas station on Watt Ave and Blackfoot Way, an alarming incident recently unfolded, captured entirely on camera. With gas prices soaring, some individuals are resorting to extreme measures to save money. On a recent Sunday, 2 drivers arrived at the Arco station. They quickly swapped the nozzles before one of them drove away, lying in wait for unsuspecting customers.
The Buck. Watch as these 2 drivers pull up to a fuel station at the Arco on Watt Avenue and Blackfoot Way on Sunday. The men quickly swapped the nozzles and...
When unsuspecting victims arrived and began pumping gas, the suspect started his meter, counting on the victims not to notice they were paying for his fuel.
From the underground storage containers 3 days in a row, starting on Tuesday of this week. The minivan returned on Friday for the 4th attempt, but the
gas station refunded the affected customers and reported the theft to its corporate offices and the sheriff's office. Chilling surveillance footage of a man who shot 2 other men at a Marathon gas station on Friday morning was revealed. The shooting occurred at 23,600 Grand River Avenue after a fight broke out among several subjects who had gathered in the gas station parking lot. It was stated that the suspect had shot a 32-year-old man and a 28-year-old man. Both victims were rushed to a hospital. The conditions of the 2 people injured in the Marathon gas station shooting are not currently known. A heavy storm swept through Florence, bringing intense winds and rainfall. The storm's powerful winds targeted the gas station's canopy, a key protective element designed to shield the fueling equipment from the elements. Without this protective covering, the fueling area became vulnerable. Surveillance video captured a fatal shooting that occurred on Sunday afternoon at the Speedy gas station in Cleveland's Broadway Slavic Village neighborhood. The footage showed 2 men running into the gas station. It appeared they had been exchanging gunfire. In a bizarre incident that left onlookers bewildered, a man at a gas station was caught red-handed, not with a fuel nozzle in his car, but drinking gasoline straight from the pump. The scene unfolded at a bustling station in Brazil, where the man, whose identity remains unknown, attracted attention as he appeared to be guzzling gasoline. Chilling surveillance footage from a gas station on South Orange Blossom Trail in Orange County, Florida, has been released, showing two men opening fire in what appeared to be an attempted murder shooting. The video depicts two individuals getting out of separate vehicles at the gas station. They immediately engage in a heated confrontation that quickly turns violent. Within moments, both men can be seen pulling out firearms and discharging multiple rounds at each other from point-blank range. Bullets appeared to narrowly miss their intended targets as the suspects continued shooting while moving around the gas station's parking lot. Miraculously, no one was struck by the gunfire during this reckless attempted murder incident, according to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. However, the suspects fled the scene immediately after the shooting. In a display of quick thinking, bravery, and coincidence, a Marine veteran at a local gas station thwarted a potentially dangerous situation when two armed individuals attempted a robbery. The incident unfolded as the Marine was entering the gas station through the main entrance. Surveillance footage captured the moment when the armed suspects, one brandishing a firearm, rushed into the store. The Marine veteran immediately assessed the threat and sprang into action. Without hesitation, he moved swiftly towards the armed individuals, leveraging his military training and experience. With precise timing, he managed to disarm the gunman, swiftly disarming him and neutralizing the immediate threat. His decisive action caught the suspects off guard, forcing them to flee the scene in haste. The chilling incident unfolded at the gas station as the CCTV footage captured the suspect loitering outside, seemingly pretending to be a customer as he waited. Little did anyone know he had his plans. Once the victim walks into the convenience store, the suspect quickly follows behind him. After briefly pausing to give the appearance of browsing the aisles, the suspect then carried out his plan. Without warning, the suspect opens fire on the victim at close range while he is shopping inside the store. The victim immediately falls to the ground after being struck by the gunfire. At a busy gas station, a customer was filling their fuel tank when a sudden fire broke out. Witnesses later recounted that the blaze ignited when the customer carelessly lit a cigarette, defying the clearly posted safety guidelines that prohibit smoking while pumping gas.
So it happened quick.
It's a video you don't see every day, a fire sparking at the VP Racing Fuels gas station in Stuttgart. It moves from the car to the pump.
Flames erupted around the car and the gas pump, causing panic among the other customers and staff at the station.
As you can see in the video, the car is driven away and the flames are...
Amidst the chaos, the quick-thinking driver managed to drive the car away from the pump, reducing the immediate risk of the fire spreading further or causing additional explosions. Emergency services were called, and the fire was swiftly extinguished by the station staff using fire extinguishers and safety equipment. A recorded video provides a sobering look at the severe damage caused by a tornado that tore through a Shell gas station off Interstate 35 in Valley View, Texas.
Yeah, this is total loss, man.
The video shows the devastating aftermath at the gas station, with debris scattered across the premises and parts of the structure completely demolished by the ferocious twister. Large glass panes meant to be windows and doors appear shattered into countless pieces, littering the parking lot and surrounding areas. Twisted metal that once formed the station's canopy now lies bent and crumpled on the ground. What remains of the convenience store's interior is also visible, with shelving units and inventory strewn about in disarray from the tornado's powerful winds. Surveillance video captured a shocking incident at a gas station store, where a man was seen pouring a bucket of gasoline inside the store before setting it on fire. The footage shows the man entering the store with a bucket and dousing the floor with gasoline. Within moments, he struck a match and ignited the fuel, causing a sudden and intense blaze to erupt. Flames rapidly spread, engulfing the store in a matter of seconds. Chilling surveillance video captured an incident which unfolded in a matter of seconds outside a gas station on Jonesboro Road.
Surveillance video shows the shooting that played out in a matter of seconds as people outside the gas station dodged the bullet.
Around 10:45 a.m., 3 suspects jumped out of a red 4-door car at a gas station and opened fire, sending bystanders scrambling for cover. Over 30 evidence markers indicate the number of shots fired in just 9 seconds before the suspects fled.
By the time police arrived, the other victim was found a short distance away outside these townhomes on Jonesboro Road. People who live in the area say shootings happen at area gas stations too often.
One victim, an 25-year-old male, was killed. The other, aged 35-50, was hospitalized. One victim was found at the gas station, the other a quarter mile away. Police believe it was a targeted shooting, but the motive is unclear. At the Exxon gas station on Metropolitan Parkway near University Avenue, a routine evening took a harrowing turn when an armed robbery unfolded.
Happening now, Atlanta police asking for your help tonight identifying this man wanted for armed robbery. It happened earlier this month at the Exxon gas station. Surveillance
cameras silently recorded as a man, armed with a sledgehammer, smashed a coin machine inside the convenience store. His actions marked the beginning of a brazen heist that would escalate quickly.
Machines with the sledgehammer there. He's one of 2 suspects. An employee at the gas station says they tried to call 911, but one of the men pointed a gun at them and demanded...
Inside the store, tension mounted as one of the suspects brandished a firearm, forcing an employee to abandon their attempt to call 911. Within moments, the suspect seized $1,000 and fled the scene, leaving behind a startled and shaken staff. Surveillance footage from a Detroit gas station shows 2 individuals exiting the convenience store. A few seconds later, a third person follows in what looks like they were together, but in reality, it's the opposite. Two of them quickly retrieve their own firearms and engage in a fierce exchange of gunfire with the suspects. What follows is a chaotic shootout right in the middle of the gas station's premises. Customers and bystanders in the area duck for cover and flee, as bullets appear to narrowly miss them during the prolonged gun battle. The suspects and persons of interest continue shooting at each other while using vehicles as shielding. After an intense barrage of shots, the 2 suspects eventually get back into their vehicle and speed off from the gas station amid a cloud of smoke from burning rubber on the pavement. In a dramatic turn of events at an Alabama gas station, a kidnapping victim managed a daring escape from the trunk of a car and sought refuge inside the convenience store. The victim, seizing a moment of opportunity, quickly opened the trunk and sprinted towards safety, entering the same store where the suspect, presumably unaware of the victim's escape, was present. The footage depicts an animated discussion taking place between the two individuals inside the Birmingham gas station's convenience store. While the initial cause of the disagreement remains unknown, the argument can be seen becoming increasingly heated. What had begun as a verbal dispute suddenly took a violent turn when one of the men pulled out a firearm. In a chilling sequence of events, gunshots can be seen and heard ringing out as the armed individuals opened fire towards each other. In a similar incident reminiscent of a horror movie, an apparent abduction and assault unfolded at a Circle K in Buckeye. The victim, in a desperate bid for freedom, saw a perfect opportunity to escape when the suspect stopped to refill his fuel tank. However, her escape was tragically short-lived. The suspect, realizing what was happening, swiftly recaptured her before horrified witnesses could intervene. In a frantic bid to evade capture, the suspect hurriedly drove away from the scene, leaving onlookers stunned by the rapid turn of events. Chilling surveillance footage from a gas station has revealed the details of a brazen carjacking where 3 suspects surrounded a victim at the pumps before stealing his vehicle.
Next, a carjacking caught on camera. Take a look at this. You can see 3 suspects approaching a man outside of a gas pump.
The video shows the victim pulling into the gas station and beginning to refuel his car. Within moments, 3 individuals can be seen approaching him from different directions, surrounding him by the pump he was using.
They take his keys and other belongings, and one suspect points a gun at him. The thieves got in the victim's.
What transpired next is a coordinated robbery caught on the gas station's security cameras. The 3 suspects confront the victim in an intimidating manner, preventing him from being able to safely return to his vehicle. With the carjacking complete, the 2 suspects inside the vehicle swiftly drive away from the gas station's premises, along with the 3rd suspect, leaving the victim stranded without his car. The gas station buzzed with activity one afternoon, typical of any busy day. Drivers came and went, filling their tanks under the bright sun. Amidst the routine, a parked car with its bonnet raised suddenly exploded, shocking everyone present. The vehicle, seemingly undergoing maintenance, erupted into flames without warning, sending debris and thick smoke into the air. Startled patrons and attendants scrambled to safety as the fire quickly spread, prompting urgent calls to emergency services. A terrifying carjacking incident unfolded at a Miami gas station where a woman had her vehicle stolen. The victim was pumping gas when a strange man approached her. He appeared like he wanted to ask a question or he needed direction, but what he did was not what the victim expected. In the blink of an eye, 2 of the suspects jumped into the woman's car, peeling out of the gas station parking lot at high speed, with the 3rd accomplice fleeing on foot. A pursuit ensued after the carjacked car was spotted, ultimately leading to the arrest of 2 suspects. However, the 3rd perpetrator involved in the brazen gas station carjacking managed to evade arrest. At a BP gas station on North Plankinton Avenue in Milwaukee, Melissa Smith found herself in a harrowing encounter during what she expected to be a routine fuel stop. As she stood at the pump, a would-be carjacker saw an opportunity. He slipped into the driver's seat of her unlocked car and attempted to drive away. Reacting swiftly, Melissa refused to be a victim. She leapt onto the hood of her moving vehicle, clinging on despite the thief's attempts to accelerate away. Startled by her courageous response, the carjacker hesitated. Melissa's brave actions paid off. Unable to dislodge her from the car, the frustrated thief eventually abandoned the vehicle. Seizing the moment, Melissa swiftly regained control of her car and ensured her safety. A man pumping gas in Prince George's County became the victim of a violent attempted carjacking. According to authorities, the victim was refueling his vehicle when he was approached by an armed suspect or group of suspects. In a brazen act of violence, the suspect attempted to steal the man's vehicle at gunpoint. During the confrontation, the victim was shot with a rifle by one of the suspects. The suspect immediately fled the scene. At a Charlotte gas station in March 2021, Jennings, a man with several active warrants, was filling up his Mercedes-Benz, unaware that law enforcement was closing in. As Jennings and his fiancée finished refueling, officers from the Carolinas Regional Fugitive Task Force, CRFTF, moved to apprehend him. The situation escalated rapidly when Jennings got into the driver's seat. Officer Tillman and his colleagues attempted to pull Jennings from the vehicle. During the struggle, Tillman spotted a loaded Ruger handgun in the center cup holder and alerted the other officers. Despite commands to put his hands up, Jennings kept the engine running and accelerated, moving the car toward another law enforcement vehicle. As the car moved forward, Tillman saw Jennings reaching for the gun. Fearing for their safety, Tillman fired his service weapon 3 times, hitting Jennings. The car stopped abruptly, and officers quickly extracted Jennings to provide first aid. Despite their efforts, Jennings gave up the ghost, with 1 bullet having entered his chest from the left armpit. On April 4, 2015, a carjacking occurred at a gas station in the 22700 block of Vanowen Street in West Hills. The suspect approached a woman pumping gas and threatened her with a knife. Fearing for her safety, the victim moved away, allowing the suspect to pull out the gas nozzle, throw it on the ground, and drive off in her vehicle. In a stark reminder of the importance of securing your vehicle, recent surveillance footage from the Prince George's County Police Department, PGPD, captured a brazen theft at a local gas station. The video shows a man exploiting an unsuspecting driver, demonstrating how quickly such crimes can occur. The footage reveals a typical scene. A driver, absorbed in the routine task of pumping gas, leaves his car door unlocked. Seizing the opportunity, a thief casually approaches the vehicle. Within mere seconds, the man opens the car door, snatches valuables from inside, and swiftly makes his escape, all while the driver remains unaware. gang of robbers hijacked the car of Nate Fleming, a D.C. politician, while he was at the gas station. 4 robbers jumped out of an SUV parked next to the D.C. council candidate Nate Fleming's car. One of the robbers pointed a gun at him, and Fleming immediately threw his car keys to them. The robbers then drove away in his car. In a tense and unsettling scene at a local gas station, a man's erratic behavior startled everyone present. The incident began with the man entering the store, visibly agitated and starting to rant loudly about various grievances. Customers and the clerk looked on in concern as his agitation escalated. At one point, the man began grabbing items from the shelves without paying, seemingly in a state of frenzy. However, when the clerk firmly confronted him and threatened to call the authorities, the man quickly dropped the items back onto the counter. Despite this, he continued to shout angrily, his voice echoing through the store. 3 unidentified men were seen in the video moving in and out of the gas station store until their unfortunate victim showed up. His car was hijacked, and the 3 men who took the victim's car escaped. The Houston Police Department did not give up and kept searching for them. 2 adults found themselves in a bizarre and dangerous predicament at a gas station. While refueling their vehicle, the gasoline nozzle malfunctioned and did not stop gushing out fuel even after they released the handle. Panic set in as the gas continued to flow uncontrollably, creating a growing pool of gasoline around their feet.
Oh my God, what do I do?
Attempts to stop the flow were futile, and the situation quickly escalated. Surrounded by the pungent smell of fuel and the threat of a fire hazard, the adults stood helplessly above the expanding pool of gasoline. As at exactly 3:39 on Sunday, 2 suspects who just parked in the gas station made an attempt to rob 4 cousins who were also at the gas station that very moment. It was seen in the video that the suspects were armed. The ugly incident turned on the robbers as the cousins overpowered the thief and his colleague as they swiftly ran away from the scene. In a quiet convenience store, a routine trip for one customer turned unexpectedly troublesome when his pack of Marlboro Reds went missing. It all began when the customer, carrying an energy drink and his cigarettes, decided to use the restroom.
I'm going to see a paying customer. He's going to set down his energy drink and the pack of cigarettes he just bought while he uses the restroom,
leaving his items unattended on the store counter, a common practice among regulars. Meanwhile, an unfamiliar figure entered the store. Barefoot and wearing sunglasses at night, the man's suspicious demeanor betrayed his intentions. Spotting the Marlboro Reds left unguarded, he feigned casual browsing, waiting for an opportunity to snatch them.
So he's going to make his way towards the cooler, sees that we're not paying attention, he's going to go back and he's going to grab those Marlboro Reds.
The customer returned from the restroom, sensing something amiss but unsure if his cigarettes had been taken. In doubt, he opted to purchase another pack, hoping his original purchase was simply misplaced. Meanwhile, the thief, undeterred by his initial failure, picked up a bottle of spray and joined the checkout queue. Seemingly on his way out, he circled back discreetly, reclaiming the Marlboro Reds he had surreptitiously set aside earlier. Disturbing cell phone video has surfaced depicting a chaotic scene of violence at a gas station convenience store.
Get the fuck up. Let's go.
The footage shows a young man aggressively dragging another individual out of the store by force. In the clip, the young man can be seen gripping the other person tightly as he pulls them across the convenience store's floor toward the exit. The person being dragged appears to struggle against the young man's forceful actions. It remains unclear what provoked the aggressive confrontation inside the convenience store. However, the footage clearly shows the young man was in an extreme state of anger as he manhandled and dragged out the other person against their will in an unsettling outburst. In a shocking incident, a suspect set a Detroit gas station on fire while a clerk was inside. The suspect arrived at the Sunoco near 7 Mile and Huntington around 3 a.m., filled a trash can with gasoline from a pump, and then poured the fuel inside the building. After a brief exchange with the clerk, he ignited the gas with a torch. The 27-year-old clerk, who was inside at the time, suffered first-degree burns, but managed to escape alive. The suspect, a 35-year-old man, was apprehended shortly after the crime.
He proceeds to taunt the gas station employee. You see him there.
It began as an ordinary day at a Memphis gas station, with people simply going about their routine activities of refueling vehicles and making purchases. The mundane scene was shattered in an instant when two groups suddenly erupted into violence, exchanging gunfire without warning. Customers who had been calmly pumping gas mere moments earlier now found themselves caught in the crossfire, ducking for cover as bullets whizzed through the air. At a gas station in Massachusetts, an unexpected incident unfolded when the station's fire suppression system malfunctioned. Without warning, the system activated, blanketing customers and the area with foam. The resulting plume of fire retardant created quite a mess, leaving 3 people struggling to breathe.
The plume of fire retardant caused quite a mess there. 3 people reported trouble.
Despite the scare, there were no serious injuries reported. Surveillance video captured a gas station clerk being brutally harassed by a customer. The manager of the gas station spoke about the attack on one of her employees by an unknown man. She explained how devastating the situation was and expressed her anger and unhappiness. She revealed that the unknown man had frequently visited the station to purchase items and always harassed her employee whenever he was there. In the video, the unknown man had a heated conversation with the young clerk. The argument escalated into a fight where he hit the lady several times before pulling her out by her hair. Michelle Welch's visit to the Saito gas station on Clark Street just north of Wrigley Field began like any other routine stop. It was a sunny afternoon, and as she stood by her car, filling up the tank, little did she know her day would take a harrowing turn. As the gas flowed into her vehicle, Michelle's attention was momentarily diverted. In that split second, a shadowy figure moved swiftly and silently into the driver's seat of her car.
When a man slides into the driver's seat, unbeknownst to her, and drives away with her vehicle.
Before she could react, the engine roared to life, and her SUV lurched forward, pulling away from the pump. Confusion and disbelief washed over Michelle. She stood frozen, unable to comprehend the audacity of what had just transpired. Reviewing the surveillance footage later revealed the calculated nature of the theft.
It happened so fast, Michelle Welch was left with hands on her head, dumbfounded.
A white car had pulled up on a nearby side street, its occupants seemingly waiting for an opportune moment. The thief, seizing his chance, darted across the lot towards Michelle's unguarded vehicle.
Video from another angle shows the thieves pull up on a side street in a white car.
He slipped inside, blending in with the busy activity around the gas station. A strange man walked into the gas station and removed the nozzle, which almost led to a life-threatening situation. A man witnessing the situation rushed to the burning car to save the female driver and prevent any loss of life. Bystanders ran toward the burning car with a fire extinguisher to put out the fire and prevent the car from exploding. The fire was successfully put out and the situation was controlled. At a bustling gas station, a driver filling up his car forgot to remove the nozzle before driving off, creating a dangerous situation. Despite other customers' frantic attempts to warn him, he drove off with the nozzle still attached to his vehicle. The torn nozzle caused a spark, and within moments, the gas stand caught fire. The flames spread quickly, forcing other drivers and riders waiting to fill up to flee the scene in panic. Smoke billowed into the sky as station employees hurried to activate fire suppression systems and call emergency services. On a peaceful day in Saudi Arabia, a ghastly explosion occurred at a gas station in one of the local areas in 2019. The impact of the explosion was huge and totally unexpected. The explosion created a deep hole, causing widespread panic. Everyone present tried to get to safety with their various automobiles. The driver, in a panic, didn't want to lose his automobile and drove away, fully aware that the petrol nozzle was still in the car's tank. What began as a heated exchange on the road escalated into a dangerous confrontation at a local gas station. Two vehicles, their drivers fuming with road rage, pulled into the station, bringing their dispute to a halt. but not an end. As both parties exited their vehicles, the argument that had started on the highway continued unabated. Despite the change in location, neither party seemed willing to back down or defuse the situation. Somewhere in Philadelphia, on a Tuesday afternoon, unknown armed men drove a red car into a gas station to ambush those present. The outcome of the event was truly terrifying. The armed men entered the gas station and shot a man identified as Brandon Dixon, who happens to be the son of Lisa Dixon. They then drove off immediately. The reason for the attack remains unknown. The scene unfolded on a quiet Sunday morning at a local gas station. The surveillance footage showed a man filling up his car when suddenly another vehicle pulled up beside him. A man in a red vest emerged from a purple car, quickly hopped into the victim's still-running vehicle, and both cars sped away in an instant.
Then, within seconds, a man wearing a red vest hops out of the purple car, gets into the already running VW, then both cars bolt, all while Flores watches on.
The watchful eye of a live camera captured an unexpected encounter. Two strangers approached a group of families. What unfolded next defied conventional expectations, surprising all who witnessed the unscripted drama unfold. The attackers, identified as Julia Napiontek and Brandon Clanton, assaulted a family of 4, which included the mother, father, and their 2 daughters. During the attack, the male attacker physically abused the father, while the woman had a heated conversation with the children's mother before pulling her hair. The 11-year-old daughter, who tried to defend her mother, was also caught in the situation. They were all brutally harassed. Brandon and Julia left the scene after assaulting the family. The kid's father, who was still trying to defend his family, was faced by Brandon. He hit the kid's father and was later joined by his counterpart in hitting the family. In Roslindale, a routine evening turned into chaos at the Alpha Auto fuel station when a white Acura SUV, driven by a woman in her 20s or 30s, caused a massive explosion. As the driver attempted to put air in her tires, she accidentally shifted the SUV into drive instead of park. The vehicle lurched forward, crashing into a parked pickup and then plowing through gas pumps 1 and 2. Co-owner Arthur Mantis was inside the gas station when a thunderous crash and sudden flames erupted outside. Mantis grabbed a fire extinguisher and rushed to fight the blaze, later admitting it was a risky move.
The SUV races across the lot, smashes through pumps 1 and 2.
A Midtown Atlanta gas station has been forced to take drastic security measures after falling victim to a spree of brazen thefts, with several incidents captured on the premises' surveillance cameras. Footage from the gas station's security system shows suspects stealing valuables and carjacking. In other clips, individuals can be seen stealing from the convenience store. The owner, exasperated by the recurring thefts and property damage, made the difficult decision to invest significant funds into contracted security personnel to try and combat the crime problem. In Borough Park, Brooklyn, a bold theft unfolded at a BP gas station on 18th Avenue as a driver was in the midst of pumping gas. The scene captured on surveillance footage showed a bare-chested suspect circling a minivan parked nearby. With swift determination, he seized an opportunity, slipping into the van even as 3 female passengers remained inside. Moments later, sensing danger, the passengers hurriedly exited the vehicle. Ignoring their pleas, the thief started the van and sped away, leaving the side door flapping open in his haste. Despite the chaotic scene, fortunately no one sustained injuries during the incident.
Gas station on 18th Avenue. Video then shows the suspect getting into the van while 3 female passengers sat inside. They soon ran out of the vehicle.